example 5, factor the following trinomials. These are a little bit different. They're going to require a little bit more work, but it's done in the exact same way. So the one thing you'll notice is that this is no longer just an x squared, but again, it doesn't really make much of a difference. So x times x will be x squared, but I'm going to need a 3 here. So 3x times x does result in a 3x squared when you multiply. So now I need a 4. So I'm not going to write, I mean, you could have 4 and 1 and 2 and 2, but the process that we did to somehow get 13 is no longer going to work anymore. So I'm just going to try it. So I'm going to try 2 and 2 first, and then we'll go from there. So I tried 2 and 2. This diagonal, if I'm just looking at the numbers, is 6. This diagonal is 2, and if you add them, you get 8, which is not the middle term. Okay, so again, I'm not actually looking at the x's when I do the diagonals, I'm just multiplying the numbers. So then you try 4 and 1. So the diagonal, 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 4 is 4, that gets you 7. Okay, that's not it. And then try the other way, put a 4 and a 1. That's a 12, that's a 1, that gets you 13. So that's how I'm going to do this. It's a bit like a puzzle. So I'm still going to write down here though, just to check. So even though I did check, but I'm going to write down how I would normally do that. So 12x and a 1x, which adds up to 13x. Again, you don't have to write this. I do this in my head. Like I just think, okay, that's 12 and 1 is 13, so I don't actually bother writing down this stuff. But I'm just writing my thoughts out because I'm trying to do this just virtually here. So I have a 3x plus 1 and an x plus 4. So 3x plus 1 and a x plus 4. All right, let's try another one now. Okay, and so this is where we're going to be going. I'm doing a lot of it just kind of in my head. So I need an x and an x to get an x squared, but I don't know if I should make this a 3 and a 2, or if I should make this a 6 and a 1. It's not entirely clear. So I'm going to start with the numbers that are closer together. 3 and 2 on a number line are a lot closer than 6 and 1. Next thing I'm going to do is 12. So there's 1 and 12, there's 2 and 6, and there's 3 and 4. And I'm just going to choose the ones that are closer together. So I'll try 3 and 4. And now I'm just going to check my diagonals. So my diagonal here is 12, and that's 6. 12 and 6. Now 12 and 6 give me 18. That's not going to work. So instead of doing 3 and 4, I'm going to flip it to be 4 and 3, just to see if that works. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. 9 plus 8 is 17. Okay, nice. I figured it out. So I'll write the diagonals down just because. So 8x, and that one's a 9x, which if I add those will give me a 17x. So that is my middle term. And then I have a 3x plus 4 and a 2x plus 3. There we go. Now I'll try another one. So let's go here and here. I guess I'll do 3x and x again. Those multiplied to get 3x squared. And then I have 6 on the other side. So I guess it can be a 1 and a 6, or it could be a 2 and a 3. So I'm going to do a 2 and a 3. I'm just going to lower this a little bit here. So that's a 3x and an x. Now I'm going to try the 2 and the 3 first. So I'll do that. 3 and 2. Diagonal is 6 and 3. 6 and 3 will get me 9. Nope, that's not what I want. So I'm not going to do that. I'll try putting the 3 down here. 9 and 2. 9 plus 2 is 11. Oh, well, actually, now that I think of this, I notice here that it's a minus 6. So I've preserved this. 3x times x is 3x squared, but I haven't actually even done the right side because I need one of these to be negative. So let's make one of these negative. So now I got negative 9x, and that one's a 2x, and if I add those together, there's more negatives there, so my answer is negative 7x. Oh, that's really close. I need a positive 7x. So whenever you get the right number, like I got a negative 7x, but I got the wrong symbol, that just means that your signs are the wrong way. So instead of a positive 2, I'll make that a negative. And instead of a negative 3, I'll make that a positive. Now I'll try my diagonals here are a 9x. This way is a negative 2x. And if I add them together, I get a positive 7x, which is exactly what I need. So I've got a 3x minus 2 and an x plus 3. 3x minus 2 and an x plus 3. Okay. So let's try a few more here. How many more do I have? Okay, yeah. So let's try this here. Oh, if this pen, no, the pen works. Okay. So I need an 8x squared. So I'm going to do a 4x and a 2x. I guess I could do an 8x and a 1x, but I'm going to choose the numbers that are closer together, which is 4 and 2. And then I need a negative 15. So it's a 1 and a 15 and a 3 and a 5. So I'm going to try 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5, and one of them has to be negative. I don't know. I'm just going to do that. So what do I get? I get a negative 20x and a 6x, which if I were to add them, there's more negatives than there are positives, so the negatives will win, and there will be 14 more. Oh, that's really close. I can't believe that. That's really close, but it's not. I need a positive 14. So, like I said before, if you ever get the right number but the wrong symbol, you can change it. So a 3 will become a negative 3, and this negative 5 will become a positive 5. Now I can do my diagonals. So 20x, negative 6x, which if you add them together, get you a positive 14x. And that's what I need. That's my middle term. So I've got a 4x minus 3 and a 2x plus 5. 4x minus 3 and a 2x plus 5. And there we go. Sometimes you get really lucky there. Like I just put a 3 and a 5 randomly and I got the right answer. I had to change the signs, but I kind of got the right answer. That was unintentional. I do not have an answer key in front of me. So that's going to be a 1, 10, 5x and 2x. I guess I could do a 10x and a 1, but that I chose the numbers closer together. 5 and 2 are closer than 10 and 1. One of the things, too, that you might be thinking is, does the order matter for the 5 and the 2? Well, no, it doesn't, so I'm just going to put, just to change it for the heck of it, I'll put the 2 there and the 5 there. Doesn't matter at all. Now I'm going to have to get to 3. Well, there's only one option, that's 1 and 3, and so I guess it could be 1 and 3, or it could be 3 and 1, I don't really know, so I'm just going to try 1 and 3 right now. Actually, no, I'll do 3 and 1. So, oh, but it needs to be negative. So one of them has to be negative. So that's going to be negative 15. That's going to be 2, which will get you negative 13. Now, there's no sense in changing the negative signs, because if I put that down here, then that gives me 15 and minus 2. That gets me a positive 13 as opposed to a negative. So just changing the signs doesn't really make a difference. It just changes the symbol of your diagonals at the end. So, putting the negative in a different spot doesn't make a difference. What does make a difference is changing the numbers. So I'm going to put a 1 here and a 3 there, and then make one of them negative. So that's going to be 6. That's going to be a negative 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. That's close. I need a negative 1. So I got the right number, but I got the wrong symbol. So I'm going to make this a positive 1, and then make this a negative 3. So now my diagonals are going to be a 5x, and a negative 6x, and if I add those together, I'm going to get a negative 1x, which is what I need. That is my middle term. So I have a 2x plus 1 and a 5x minus 3. And I can do that. Or you could have the 5x minus 3 first, and then the 2x plus 1, but that would also be correct. It doesn't change anything. Order doesn't matter when you're multiplying. Okay, let's try this one here. I'm curious to know, I'm thinking it's going to be a 2x and 2x, but it could be a 4x and a 1. But I'll try 2 and 2 first. 9, well, you could do 1 and 9, or you could do 3 and 3. So I'll just try 1 and 9. Now it needs to be negative 9, so I'm going to make one of them negative. So that diagonal is going to be 18. That's negative 2, which is going to be a positive 16. So that's not going to make a difference. I'm not going to change the negative symbol. I'll just put the 9 up top instead. But that will give me an 18, and this gets me a negative 2. Again, it doesn't make a difference. 16. So it can't be that. Well, maybe I'll try 3 and 3. So then I get a positive 6 and a negative 6, which will get me a 0. That's not my middle term. Okay, well, I tried 1 and 9, I tried 3 and 3, those are my only options, so maybe I'll change this now to a 4x and a 1x. And then I can do 3 and 3, make one of them negative. So that's going to be 12, that's going to be negative 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. That's good, I got the right number, I just need the other symbol. It's not a positive 9, I need a negative 9. So I'll just change it. I'll make the one on the bottom down here a negative and make the top one positive. Now my diagonals are negative 12x, positive 3x, and if I add those together, there's more negatives, so it's going to be a negative answer, negative 9. That's what I needed. So I've got a 4x plus 3 and a 1x minus 3. Now I'm going to put 4x plus 3, and then for the 1x, I'm just going to write x. Subtract 3. I don't actually need to write the 1. And there we have it. So we have 3 more questions left that I can see down below, unless more are added later. So we'll do those ones in the next video.